from our studios here in Tokyo, this is Newsline. I'm James Tengan. A powerful earthquake shook Nagano Prefecture in central Japan on Saturday. The magnitude 6.8 quake struck at 10:08 p.m. local time, or 13:08 UTC. Officials at Japan's meteorological agency say the focus was in the north of the prefecture at a depth of about 10 kilometers. They say there is no danger of tsunami waves. The tremor registered an intensity of 6- on the Japanese scale of 0 to 7 in parts of Nagano Prefecture. An intensity of 5 was recorded in neighboring Niigata Prefecture. In Nagano Prefecture, landslides blocked some roads at Hakuba Village. Local officials report that at least 4 residential houses have collapsed. 1 person was rescued and 4 people are still trapped inside. Managers at Tokyo Electric Power Company say there are no reports of quake damage at the Kashiwazaki-Kariwa nuclear power plant in Niigata Prefecture.
I'm Yoko Nishimura in Tokyo with the news at this hour. Aftershocks continue to hit Nagano Prefecture, central Japan, one day after a powerful earthquake struck the area. A quake measuring 6.7 on the Japanese magnitude scale struck shortly after 10 p.m. local time. At least 34 homes have been destroyed. Over 40 people have been injured, 7 of them seriously. Most of the serious damage is concentrated in an area about 10 kilometers from the epicenter in northern Nagano Prefecture. No one has been killed, but some residents were temporarily trapped inside their homes. 73-year-old Kimito Tsutaki was sleeping on the first floor when the jolts occurred.
It shook violently and the light fell from the ceiling. So I quickly covered myself with a blanket. The next thing I knew, the second floor collapsed and I yelled for help.
Neighbors rushed to help. They jacked up the ceiling and pulled Kimito out. Meteorological agency officials have reported several aftershocks in the area. They say there's a risk of mudslides when it rains, as the ground has been loosened by the jolts. Researchers from the University of Tokyo and Shinshu University went to Hakuba. The village is near the epicenter of the earthquake. They found displaced ground that appeared to be the result of a movement of the active fault.
The surface of the ground is bumpy. The bases of tombstones have fallen down as well. Parts of the ground rose, and at the same time, they contracted.
The shift of the fault created gaps of more than 50 centimeters. These gaps occur for about 1 kilometer.
The difference is visible now. The fault has appeared near the surface of the ground. This region is thought to be situated right above what's known as the Kamishiro Fault.
The Kamishiro Fault is 26 kilometers long. The aftershocks have occurred near this fault. Meteorological agency officials explain how the ground shifted.
Pressure was applied from the northwest and southeast. We think the compression created reverse faults.
The officials say there was a compression from the northwestern and southeastern sides, and this forced the fault line running north to south to move. Members of the government's earthquake survey panel held an emergency meeting on Sunday. They discussed the relationship between the earthquake and the faults. Experts say aftershocks with intensities of up to 5+ may occur for the next 7 days or so. They're urging people in the affected areas to remain on the alert. Hit inland Sichuan province on Saturday afternoon, leaving 5 people dead and 54 injured. The China Earthquake Administration says the quake occurred at about 5 p.m. in the Gansu Tibetan Autonomous Region or Prefecture. The focus is estimated to be 18 kilometers deep. China's state-run Xinhua news agency says most of the casualties were in Kanding County. The disaster area is at an altitude of more than 4,000 meters. Survivors evacuated to temporary tent shelters amid freezing temperatures. In May 2008, a magnitude 8 quake in Sichuan left 87,000 people dead or missing. The province also suffered casualties in tremblers that struck in April and August of last year.
Oiga, pero están aquí ni para correr. No, hombre. No, pero debe ser la pura, se destapó. Porque si se da cuenta por las laderas, si se da cuenta por las laderas no se ve nada. O sea, no se ve nada raro. Ah, ¿sabe qué? Mira allá por la izquierda, ¿sí ve que está humeando? Sí aventó piedras, ¿eh? ¿Ya vio que está humeando? Ah, no, jamás. Ni quería verlo tan cerca, ¿eh? Yo creo que eso es más o menos la forma de una explosión nuclear, ¿no? Como un hongo, ¿verdad? Sí, no habría de otra. ¿No le dieron ganas de echarse a correr? Sí. Voy a detener el video para sacar unas fotos.
A critical battle for Ramadi, the capital of Iraq's Anbar province, is being fought with ISIS militants coming as close as a couple of hundred meters from the government complex in the city, which includes the military command for Anbar. ISIS militants have cut off the main military supply line from the nearby Habaniya airbase when they launched their offensive on Friday. It was a coordinated attack on a number of areas in and around Ramadi. From talking to people in the city, including the deputy governor, the battle is fluid. While the army and tribes managed to push back ISIS from some of the areas, fighting is ongoing in two key locations. The strategic eastern suburb of Estijariya, that's along the only military supply line into Ramadi. Now, ISIS controls almost all of Anbar province, linking the Sunni province to territory ISIS controls in neighboring Syria. Officials in Anbar and also here in Baghdad are watching this battle closely. To win it, they say they desperately need weapons for the tribes of Anbar and more coalition airstrikes. These same officials also say if Ramadi falls to ISIS, the rest of Anbar is lost. Jumana Karache, CNN, Baghdad.
I'm speaking from my heart. I'm being real. You and your officer doing the wrong thing. Y'all protecting somebody for no reason. Let us get that man brought to justice so this can be over.
Go forward! Here goes. What you want?
Push that shit down. Quick. Go away, you'll be arrested for interference.
Get back! Get back or you're going to jail. Last warning, get back.
You got me?
Stand up. Walk this way. Walk this way. You're under arrest. Stop resisting.
On the bustling streets of the Madagascar capital of Antananarivo, a disease lurks in the shadows. Only some of its residents are still in the dark.
I don't know about this disease. What is the plague?
Since August, an outbreak of the plague in the country has killed 40 people out of 119 confirmed cases, and the World Health Organization fears the disease will spread rapidly in the capital. The bacterial disease is mainly spread from one rodent to another by fleas. Humans bitten by an infected flea can develop a bubonic form of the plague. If the bacteria reaches the lungs, the patient can develop pneumonia and can die within 24 hours. Down the street from one of the city's hospitals, one resident says she worries about preparedness.
The basic hospital here can't even take care of cases of serious illnesses because they don't have the facilities.
So far, the WHO has not recommended any trade or travel restrictions based on the outbreak.
Russian state-controlled TV has aired photographs purportedly showing a fighter jet firing a missile at a passenger plane over eastern Ukraine. Channel 1 said the images supported Moscow's theory that Malaysia Airlines flight MH17 was shot down by a Ukrainian fighter jet. A crash that killed all 298 people on board. But the Ukrainian National Defense Council says the photos are forgeries.
This fake was debunked within 30 minutes. It turned out to be a very crude falsification.
The finger-pointing hasn't stopped since July's crash, with Moscow and Ukraine blaming each other for destroying the jet. The photographs were published on the eve of a G20 summit where Russian President Vladimir Putin faced strong criticism from Western leaders for Moscow's actions in Ukraine.
Sightings in the Texas sky overnight. Check this out. People capturing images of these fireballs streaking across the horizon. So what's going on here? ABC's Michelle Franzen explains.
Barreling through the night sky over San Antonio, multiple sightings of mysterious fireballs and loud booms.
We're hearing an explosion here on 57.
Take a look at this. Guy and Karen Parker were driving when they captured this bright streak on camera.
It was a real bright green kind of fireball-looking object in the sky.
That big burning glow also caught on the dash cam of one local police officer out on patrol. Police say they received at least 150 reports of a bright fireball zipping across the horizon from Houston to Dallas and down to San Antonio.
It looked like it was across, like it went towards Mexico.
Just like the blazing sky, sightings lit up Twitterverse too. Scientists need to confirm if those streaks are from a meteor, so for now, there is still a trail of mystery. For Good Morning America, Michelle Franzen, ABC News, New York.